Hello! In this video, we will see the various options we can use in order to make our tests more dynamic and reusable. Let's see the following sample scenario. We have a simple procedure that logs into a specific Cisco device. It then clears one of the specific interface counters. It waits for 10 seconds. It then reads the interface counters and then shows a message with the in and out counters values. This is a very specific procedure that you might build for your own needs. But then comes your colleague and asks you to use the procedure for other devices and ports. The current procedure will not be usable for your colleague, so let's change it to make it more usable. Let's open the login mini canvas. Here you can see that we are connecting to a specific IP address. We can select the IP address, right-click, and select the extract variable option. It will create a new variable for us, with the selected value as the initial value of that new variable. All we have to do now is to set these variable properties. We can also see that the username and password that are used here are fixed values, so let's change them as well. Back to the main canvas. The following step clears a specific port counters. We will make it generic as well. Notice that here we don't have to change the IP address since we use the same session. During runtime, the IP address is taken from the session variable and not from the parameters field. We can change the command now to be generic the same way as before. We will also update the step name, so others who read this procedure will understand that this is not specific to a certain interface. Then, we will update the delay duration, again taking it from a new variable. And we will also update the read statistics. Now, our procedure is much more generic. But our colleague would like to use this procedure as part of a test and needs to give us all the information somehow without changing the initial values for each time it is used. For these cases exactly, you can make your procedure even more dynamic by publishing the variables that are needed in this procedure. Publishing a variable exposes it to other tests or procedures that calls our procedure. In order to publish a variable, you can open the variable properties and enable the publish option. You can then select between three publish modes. Publish in will expose this variable as an input to this procedure. Publish out will expose this variable as an output from this procedure. And publish in out will expose this variable as an input to this function, but also as an output. In this case, we want to publish all of our variables as inputs. During runtime, when this function will be called, each variable that will get a value from the calling procedure will set the value as the new current value instead of taking the initial value. Let's see how it looks like when we use this new procedure. You can see that all the new published variables are now listed in the input section. One last step to make this procedure more generic is to publish the results as an output instead of showing a message. We can publish the whole matrix variable that was created in the transformation step. You can see that when enabling the publish option for this variable, only the out option is available for us. This is because this variable is one of the automatic variables that are created as an output of one of the steps. We cannot update this variable value, we can only read its value. You can also see that the alias field is now available. We can use it to give a more readable and meaningful name to this output. Let's open again the calling step and see now the output variable with the alias name that we provided. Now we can remove the message box from the flow. That's all. You are now able to make your procedures more dynamic and reusable. Doing so will allow you to share your tests and procedures with your colleagues and save time instead of writing them all over again each time.